Being from the northeast of the United States, we had no idea before living in the van that you can literally park for free and camp for free in the U.S. out west. So this is your guide to free camping in America. Hi everyone, my name is Megan.
And I'm Matt. If you're new here, welcome to our channel. We're stoked to have you here. If you're returning, we're glad to have you back. I want everybody to smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Megan's going to edit this out because she hates when I say this part early in the video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to find free campsites, what to expect, where to get started, and give you guys the tools and resources that you need to figure out your own awesome camping spots.
This video is mostly going to be about BLM Land, which is Bureau of Land Management, government land out west, but we're going to give you a little bit of information about where to find camping in cities, and camping really just means a place to park at night so you can stay overnight. Really quickly, if you are in cities, a few places that you can stay for free are Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, and Cracker Barrel. You can also stay at Walmart's, but those aren't our favorite places because Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, and Cracker Barrel all have RV parking. If you live in a rig like ours, or if you're in a car, or if you have like a really small RV, don't take up the angular long RV spots. Those are meant for the big RVs, because what happens is people who live in vans like us will fill up those spots, and then an RV will come around and park like along the side of the parking lot and take up like 20 spots because there were no angular RV parking spots available. So make sure that if you are in a rig that can fit in a regular size parking spot, that you actually use those parking spots instead. You might want to give them a call to make sure that they do allow overnight parking so you don't have any trouble, but we haven't had any trouble with those three places that we mentioned, and Walmart is iffy. For those areas, we recommend waiting until dark and after closing hours to show up and park up for the night, because then all of the patrons will have left. If you're trying to find parking at a Cracker Barrel during dinner time, you might not find it. So go after dark.
Another tip that we learned on the road is just by calling around different breweries or restaurants and asking if it's okay to stay in their parking lot. We're, I think, 3 for 3 with breweries of staying overnight. One time we were snowed in Bozeman and called up a local brewery. We're like, hey, can we stay in your parking lot? They were like, absolutely, just don't block the loading dock. And it was a pretty awesome spot to stay snowed in at. If you want to check out that vlog, we'll link it right here.
Yeah, so that's a great hack for those who don't want to spend the money on harvest hosts.
We're going to now talk about our favorite type of campsites, which is wilderness-free campsites. This means BLM land, national forests, certain state parks and state forests. You want to take it away?
There are some places where you have to sign up for a permit, but it doesn't cost you anything. So when we were in Pennsylvania, all of the state forests have these camping areas where you can camp for free, but you need to contact them, fill out some paperwork, and apply for a permit. And they're usually able to give it to you the day of. So make sure that you do your research and you make sure that you do all the paperwork needed to camp there for free. Out west, there's what's called BLM Land, which means Bureau of Land Management, and it's government-owned land where there are a lot of dispersed camping spots where you can just camp out for free without a permit and without permission.
There are no hookups, there are no amenities, there are occasionally trash cans. This is land that's just designated by the government for recreation. So you'll see all sorts of people out here. There's a general rule of thumb that most places are a maximum 14-day stay. And it's important to be respectful of that, because if you just set up shop and you start to live there, it's just not great for the environment. It's not great for the experience of other people, and you could possibly get fined or banned from that area. The expectations of staying on BLM land are pretty much you're going to get a flat-ish spot to park on. You're going to have to pack in, pack out all of your trash. Fires are going to be limited depending on where you are in the area. You're going to need to check with local regulations on the status of, if there's a fire ban in place. Take care of your human waste or dog waste or animal waste properly. Don't go dumping everywhere. Don't throw out your trash. We've been to so many campsites where there have been people who probably just drive with a pickup truck full of stuff and just throw out like couches and stuff, and it really sucks because this land is available for people to use, and people just take advantage of that.
When have you seen a truck dump a couch?
outside Zion.
When was there a couch?
Remember when I was ripping out the e-bike and was ripping around there?
No.
Alright, so if you're curious how to find...
I was looking at my phone.
Oh my god, Megan, I love you so much. If you're curious how to find boondocking spots, there are several different apps to use. The one that we use the most and love the most is iOverlander. It's a free app and it's all user-based, so people add things and, moderate.
A few things to know about iOverlander is because people put it on there when they experience it, that sometimes the listings might be out of date. Sometimes people put it on there just because they made it a night through in the location without getting caught. A lot of people flock to these places and they're not supposed to be there. So be careful. Make sure you look at signs. Make sure you look for no camping signs everywhere, even if it's on iOverlander or any other app, that you do your own research and you look around for all of the signage, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and just because some person stayed there once and got away with it doesn't mean that it might be okay for everyone to do it. So all of this is meant at your own risk. You're responsible for your own things. Other apps that are out there are things like Seeker, Campendium, The Dirt, Free Roam, freecampsites.net. There's a plethora of information out there, all that are more or less the same, and each kind of has their own perk or, advantage to using. We just find that iOverlander is the simplest, and we just like using that one, and we've kind of stuck with it, and it hasn't really led us astray so far.
The best way to find free camping, though, is by connecting with other travelers on Instagram. And a lot of the times you can follow someone who's going the same path like we have. We've been following Lita and Dylan around the West Coast for a little while, and they've been sending their camp spots in every location that we've gone to. So that's really the best way to find the best BLM campsites, because they can also tell you if there was service, if it was trashed, if it was good experience, and you're talking to somebody one-on-one instead of looking at a public forum. So you're probably wondering what the campsites are like, and it's pretty off-grid.
The road in is usually not paved. There's these things called washboard roads, and that's what's really gonna rattle everything in your rig loose. It's just very bumpy road. If you can imagine what a washboard is, you're driving on that, and even going as slow as 10 miles an hour is going to shake everything. So you're going to maybe need to go even slower. Don't expect much, if any, cell service. That's why some of these apps are awesome, because users will go and update saying, hey, yeah, I had 2 bars, I had 4 bars, I had no bars. It gives you a little bit of an expectation. So if you're looking for a complete off-grid experience, that's great. Sometimes if you need to keep working, it's not so great. So there are resources out there that will give you the information that you need to succeed and have a great time enjoying the land. Another thing to expect is you are in the wild. So there will be wild animals. There may be strange noises. There may be strange people. We've parked near people who we were like, let's get out of here.
We've seen a rattlesnake. We've seen cows. A lot of people have seen much more creatures than we have, but you're out in the wilderness. If you have a dog, make sure that you protect them, because there could be coyotes out here. A lot of things, guys. A lot of things.
There are rarely toilets out in wilderness. There's an occasional spot where you will have a campsite nearby or some BLM pit toilets, but that's not always guaranteed, and you're going to need to be prepared to either dig a hole or pack in everything that you have. We have a Nature's Head composting toilet, so we're covered on that end, but in case you didn't know, you're supposed to dig a hole 4 to 6 inches deep.
And cover it up.
Yeah.
And don't leave toilet paper. You're supposed to pack that out.
Yeah. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, there's nothing less pleasant than pulling up to a what you think is beautiful campsite and seeing there be human poop and toilet paper everywhere.
Yeah. So here's how not to be annoying to other people when you're coming into these spots. Make sure that you park away from other rigs if you can. Give people ample amount of space. Don't park up right next to them. Another thing is, don't blast your music. A lot of people are out here to enjoy the wilderness, and they don't want to be disturbed by your Taylor Swift music.
Yeah, or your AC/DC, whatever you're into. It doesn't only disrupt your neighbors, but it also may disrupt wildlife.
Yeah.
And, we're in their territory. That's the most important thing to remember, is that we are on wild land where the wild animals live, they're not gonna take too kindly to strangers.
So to sum it up, you can find so much free parking in the US, and that's why a lot of people live on the road full time. But even if you're a traveler and you're only out here for a week, you don't really need to book accommodation if you want to just see some national parks. You can just go and rent a car and camp in your car or pack a tent, and you're good because you can just park up on some of these government-owned lands. So if you guys liked this video and you found it helpful, make sure you share it with somebody who might find it useful, and make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you want more information about living on the road, or if you want to see our adventures of exploring and trying new things. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.